Welcome to Kingdom Mandate. I am Dimeji, and I'll be taking you through this particular teachings on the kingdom of God so that you can learn to bring the kingdom of God wherever you are, so that the place where you are will actually become the kingdom of our God. And we will reign with him forevermore. So we're looking at part 2 of You Are a King. You get me? Yesterday we looked at as a king, you're here to execute righteousness. And to execute righteousness simply means that whatever is not of God, you bind it and cast it out so that the place where you are will become like the Garden of Eden. Now, today we're going to be looking at you decree a thing. Kings decree a thing. Now, in democracy, we have the three arms of government. We have the legislature, we have the executive, and then we have the judiciary. But you see, in a monarchy, all these three things are actually fused into one. The king is the lawgiver. The king is the executor. The king is also the judge. So the king is the legislature. You get me? Now we'll look at this. You as a king of God, as a believer in the kingdom of God, you have legislative power. You have the power to decree a thing and it will come to pass. Whenever I come to an environment newly, one of the first thing I do is this: I exercise my power as the king of God, as a king under Christ. I exercise this power and authority that I have. And the power and authority I have is to decree a thing. Because whatever I decree, I'm going to have it. It says, and ye shall decree a thing, and it shall come to pass. So I decree that in this environment, this is what will happen. And I stand by my decree. Because in the spirit realm, as a king, my words have great power. So I don't speak anything that I don't back with power. You get me? I don't speak things that I don't back with power. I make sure that the words I am speaking, because those words are decrees. As I declare them, as I decree them, I ensure that this is what I want to see. But you see, most of us decree things that we don't want to see. But because you're a king, whether you decree a negative thing or a positive thing, it will come to pass. Because every decree that you make, there are angels assigned to your throne. You get me? As a king, you have a throne. And there are angels that are assigned to you. That whatever word you decree, if it's according to the will of God, the angels of God will go and put it to work. If it's not in accordance to the will of God, the devil and his minions will go and ensure that that word comes to pass. So you can decree a thing. You can decree that a certain radius from where you are, no evil is permitted to happen. You can decree prosperity. You can decree a lot of things. You don't have to be running to your pastor. You get me? Each time you run to your pastor, what you do is this: you give away your power and authority as a king. You are a king. If you're born again, you are a king, just like your pastor is a king. And the same deposit, the same investment that Jesus made in your pastor is the same one he made in you. So stop running helter-skelter and begin to exercise your authority. The authority to decree. You bind something. When you bind it, it is bound. When you lose it, it is loosed. So do it yourself. You get me? Do it yourself where you are. Do it so that you can enforce the will of God. Exercise your legislative power. Say the word. When legislators make a law, the executive sign it into. You are both, you see, here's the thing. When you decree a thing and it's in accordance with God, God makes sure that it is executed by angels. And you have legions of angels with you. So begin to exercise the authority to decree a thing. Decree it and it shall be so.